Welcome to our video series on mastering one-time offers. In this video, we'll explore using and maintaining a MySQL database. Now, the first thing you'll need to do to install this one-time offer script is set up a database at your web host for your website. Specifically, this script is a PHP script, and it uses MySQL databases. So you may wish to confirm or double-check with your web host whether your hosting plan that you're currently on supports PHP and MySQL. I would say that the vast majority of web hosts do because it's very common functionality. Okay, I have my web hosting account open here, and I have it open specifically to the Add New Database page. So I've logged into the hosting control panel from my hosting account. I just clicked on a couple of links, and MySQL Database Administration, Add New Database. We can give it a name, and it doesn't really matter, but you may as well give it something meaningful as a reference. So let's say one-time offer. And how about visitor log? One-time offer visitor log. Basically, what this database does is it stores visitor information. For example, IP address and so on and so forth. And then each time there's a new visitor, it checks the database to make sure a visitor with those details hasn't visited before. If they have visited before, if their details are in the database, the page isn't shown to them. Okay, access level. Local only is fine. Optimization monthly, fine. Add database, and it gives you ready-made database details, and you can often change these through your hosting interface. Very importantly, database name, and note that it's appended some text to the front of the name, which is important. You have to have the whole thing. Or rather, you have to take the whole thing and add it to the script, as I'll demonstrate in just a moment. Then, the server where your database is located. That's important. Full access username, important. Full access password. And there's also a read-write username and a read-only username. And there's an even more detailed view, but I think this information should be enough. So let's get started. I'll leave that open, and let's go back to the folder I unzipped the script to. And what we want is the oto.php file. You can open it in a text editor, and there's a very good one called TextPad, which should be from textpad.com, or you should be able to find it on download.com. I've just used the default text editor in Windows, Notepad, and I've opened the text up there. There's a lot of text, a lot of code, but the only part you need to touch, I'll demonstrate here. First of all, you need to specify MySQL server. So if it's not correct, change the value within the double quotes. Delete that, and go back to my hosting account, and the server is this one. So copy that and make sure, because sometimes when you double-click by accident, it adds spaces before or after, and you may not be aware of that. So be careful when you do your selection. Okay, right-click and copy, and over to Notepad, and right-click paste, and there we go. Make sure that there are no spaces before or after within the quotes. Double quotes, server address, and double quotes. And actually, forget that. I thought I'd done something wrong, but actually I haven't. So double quotes, database, and double quotes with no spaces within the double quotes. Okay, database name. You can select that and delete. Back to the details, and database name, and let's select this carefully. Try again, click, hold, and drag, right-click, copy, back to Notepad, right-click, paste. OK. Now, MySQL username. Let's go to Details and Full Access Username. Right-click, copy, right-click, or alternatively just go Edit, Paste within Notepad. OK, MySQL password. You need the password to access the database. And OK, there's the full password. Select that and copy. And I'll just Control-V because it's easier. Control-V to paste. OK, table. This table is basically a collection of related data within the database. You can call the tables whatever you like, but the default table name is fine. It doesn't really make any difference if you change that. OK, importantly, offer file. This is the name of the web page that gets displayed as the one-time offer. And yes, it's probably a good idea to change this from the default because you don't want people to be able to guess the name of your one-time offer page. For example, use anything that's difficult to guess. And if you make it upper and lower case, because often that makes it even more difficult to guess the correct file name, the web page name on many servers. So we could, for example, do one-time offer, or even one-time only offer, OTOO, then underscore, special offer page.html. And sometimes when I want to create page addresses that are very difficult to guess, I may just hit the number keys to create some random numbers, which makes it pretty much impossible to guess. Or if I don't want to do that, I sometimes add, as an example, a hyphen, a dot, or even one of those between each word. So, for example, we could do dot or even dot dot, and essentially that's pretty much impossible to guess as a file name. But do make a note of it so you actually remember what your web page should be called. And then expired. We can make it similar, so let's copy that. Control-C to copy, select, delete, Control-V to paste, OTOO, and change it to expired offer page. OK, that should do it. So let's save. And actually, just in case I don't remember, I'm going to copy and paste those file names into a separate document. And OK, I've copied those file names into a separate Notepad document just so I have them as a reference. So I can close OTO.php, and OK, there we go. We're back to the script files here. And let's rename, or actually, we don't need to rename these pages. We can start from scratch. So let's go here, and actually out of interest, I've double-clicked this file here, the default special offer web page, included that with the script, and it just looks like that. It's just a holding page, just as a demo. And the reason it's not the same one for information is because the functionality to display the ISP of the visitor is only available when the web page is displayed on the web server. So what you can do, in fact, let's close that, is you can delete that. Yes. And you can delete that one. And let's just start from scratch with blank documents. So what we can do, for example, is right-click, New, Text Document. We can use a text document and then call it, for example, otopage.html. So I just press Enter there after typing the text, and that's one way of just creating a blank web page, which you can just build up then within FrontPage or Dreamweaver or whatever you wish. Or as an alternative, of course, if we delete that, we can just create new pages within our editor, our web page editor. Okay, I've just opened up Dreamweaver for just a quick example. File, New, Basic Page will do. And what I often do is Insert Table, 1 row, 1 column, 700 pixels wide, border thickness 0, cell padding 10. Okay, and here in Properties we can enter it. We can set up some options for the page. So Modify Page Properties, Page Font, Arial, Size 14 points, Text color black, background color white, and that will do. So it's just a basic quick template. Just a quick outline of the page, really. And okay, let's start with our one-time offer. I'll talk through the text you can include here more in a later video, but just as a quick example, let's say, important, you will only see this special offer this one time, for example, then special offer description and order buttons go here. Okay, let's just save that. File Save. And on the desktop, there's our one-time offer script folder. Double-click into that, and double-click into the subfolder. And now, I've forgotten what we called the file. So that's what that reference document is for. And okay, the special offer page is called that. Not particularly easy to remember. Right-click, copy, select that, paste, OK, save, and it's done. And then quickly creating the expired page, just say something along the lines of whatever you wish. This one-time only special offer has expired. And then you can make the most of that visitor. Visit the following address to browse our catalog. So that's just a quick example, but people do visit when it's expired, so why not make the most of them? Send them to your catalog or send them to a page where they can receive updates by email. So don't just say, this offer has expired. At least send them somewhere else that's useful for you. Then File, Save As, and again, I can't remember what it's called, so back to the reference document, and that's our expired page. Control-C and Control-V here, and save. So now, let's see if I've done everything right. Let's upload it and see how it goes. So I've gone to my FTP software, and actually in this demonstration, I'm using the free version of ACE FTP, and if you just do a search for that, you should still be able to download the free version, and in return for getting it for free, you just have to view some ads. You can see that over here on the right. But I find that it works very well, so let's just upload the files we need. So I've logged into my web host, and I've gone to a folder specifically for the demonstrations called demonstrationdomain.com. You don't need to upload these files into the root of the domain. You can upload them into a subfolder as well if you wish. Okay, over on the left are the files. So we have oto.php and the two web pages. We can just click, hold, and drag to select those and upload by clicking on the right arrow. Okay, it's done. So let's go to a browser and see how it looks. And I've just gone to the root of the domain, and obviously the root is where you go to the domain, but you don't go into any subfolders. And we can see a listing for the 3 files we've just uploaded. Obviously, that's not good, so it's often suggested if we go back to the folder here, and you can just right-click, New Text Document, and just as I did before, you can do index.html. Index.html is the first web page the browser looks for in any folder. So if we upload a blank index.html, go back to the browser, and now refresh, you see we just see the blank page because it's the first page the web browser looks for. So instead of showing us all the files available, it just gives us a blank page, which is obviously better for hiding your one-time offer pages. So now we have to type in oto.php. That's where you would send your visitors to oto.php. So let's see if this works. OK, enter. And it seemed to think about it for a few seconds, but it got there in the end. And there we go. Even though the address is oto.php, what that script does is that it pulls in that one-time only page, which is here. It pulls in the one-time only page. So it's this page on my computer, and on the actual website, it's this one here. That's the page that's being shown. But again, it's important that the actual address of the page is hidden with this script, so people can't get around the one-time only functionality. So now, if I refresh, it's gone. This one-time only special offer has expired, and if I keep refreshing, I keep seeing it. Now, obviously, when you're testing your pages for the first time, this can cause a bit of a problem. So what I've actually done in the past is I've simply logged into my web host, and it depends on your web host's functionality whether they offer this or not, but there's generally quite an easy way to blank your database without entirely removing it. Essentially, you just remove all data from within the database, so you're starting fresh. And here, they have the option of Purge Data. So I could do that if I wanted while I'm still in the testing phase, and it would avoid having me see the Offer Expired page again and again. So that's just a potential workaround. So as you can see, it's actually quite straightforward to actually get the script up and running, and then once you've done that, of course, it's up to you how you start using it. The text you use to display the offer itself, and whether you use any of the script's more advanced features. And actually, I'll start going through that in more detail in the following videos.